Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In my last video, I discussed about the governance and the government and their basic differences, about the bureaucracy and its features. In this video, I am going to discuss about the criticism of the bureaucracy, or we can say why the bureaucracy failed. As we all discussed about the crisis faced by Indian government in the year 1980s, and that was the balance of payment crisis. And the reason behind it was the failure of bureaucracy. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump to the topic criticism of bureaucracy, under which the very first topic is the red tapism. Delay in the functioning and the decision making, or we can say the organization was not very prompt. So it impacted the effectiveness of the bureaucracy. The word red tapism is derived from the files. The red tape was used in the file to write confidential on it, and every such file used for the bureaucracy was red taped. Delay was also due to the hierarchy. File travel from first position to the next and then to reach the final authority where the decision is being taken. The file is scrutinized in each level, which takes time, and the rules were very rigid. So to deal with it, there was an administrative response commission. It was established in the year 1966, and Morarji Desai was the chairperson of that commission. It made an observation that a file passes through 5 levels, after which the decisions were taken. So because of that, the effectiveness of decision was lost. And because of that, the decision were very delayed. Red tapism is also due to centralization. Centralization of decision-making power is at the top level. So we can conclude that the problem of red tapism is also attributed due to centralization. To understand this, let us understand that the very first level of the planning, and that was a district. So the office of district is overused. It was okay at the time of independence because the population was not that much. But now we all know that India has exploded in terms of population in 75 years. And there is a basic problem with the planning, and that was the planning was not done at the lower level. So the district was always used as a unit of planning. The next problem was the resources. There was a limitation of resources. When the population was very less, or we can say in compared to today, the population was less, there was a match. Somehow there was a match in between the resources and the output. Or we can say what we were having the input, we were able to achieve the output. But now the population grown exponentially. So the same number of input cannot produce the same number of result. So we can conclude that there is a need of decentralization. So as a suggestion, we can say that we have to create a subunit, or we have to divide the district into different level to reduce the delay. So these were all problems or issues faced for the planning stage. Next is generalism, which means there is a lack of domain expertise, and this is the problem primarily with the Indian civil services. For example, we can understand there are many fields such as disaster management, development issues, law and order, under which we have to understand the nuclearism problem. In disaster management, we don't have any proactive approach. So for the disaster management, we have the reactive approach. Means after the disaster, what we have to do. Before that, we don't have. So the impact was very high of any disaster. And this is because of the generalists were appointed as the head of any lawmaking institution. We can understand this by the new problem, that is the heat wave what facing by India nowadays. So we can say that there is a requirement of training. In 2019, the government of India come up with the scheme Mission Karmyogi. It is to develop the domain specialization, or we can say that there is the expertise of domain. Voluntarily training of program started, and there is a platform which was used for this, and that was known as IGOT platform. These all will contribute to a role-based bureaucracy. Now, next is the impersonality. We have already discussed in the last video also that what is impersonality means without passion or hatred. There should be no feeling before taking any decision, means either not passion or we should not discriminate also. So everyone is equal. Next is legitimacy, means authority, validity. Vote, the people are giving vote, and by this there is a legal acceptance. We are having faith that they are going to work for us. Next, the second thing is pay taxes. Why the people are paying taxes? We are paying taxes because we are also having the faith that we are paying, so we are going to get benefit. And this is also a form of legitimacy. Now the government are accountable to the citizen. Bureaucracy and state relationship is direct cause of the authority and finance. Authority is given by the state to bureaucrats, so they will accountable to the state. Now there is a relationship between the bureaucrats and the citizen, and that is not the direct relationship because of the lack of information sharing, lack of stakeholdership, and even they don't have any understanding of what is required. In pre-2005 Official Secrets Act 1923, which was used till 2005, there was the lack of information, means the people are not going to be shared the information that is required to citizens are not being provided, and there are loopholes in RTI also. Now there is another issue, that is the lack of stakeholdership, means the civil servants, they take decisions on the issues which does not concern them, means they were not poor but they were making the rules for the poverty. They were not facing any flood and they were making the rules for the flood, because whatever is going to impact is the base citizens, and the bureaucrats, they were not the basic, they were provided with the maximum facilities. They are also not beneficiaries of their own decisions. Whatever they were making the decisions, that is when they were not the part of that. That's why they were not very concerned about what they are making the decision. And decisions are taken for administrative convenience rather than to resolve the problem and its issues. What was convenient to them, they make the decision. If the beneficiary and the decision makers are not concerned with each other, then the decisions are not helpful to anyone. And now they started the victim blaming game also. Next is the monopolistic, means the no concern for well-being. Primary reason is that the people who are managing the police station also, they are having the thought that the people who are coming there, they cannot go any other place. Now they are having the attitude of my bag. So we have to train the people that they should have the down to earth approach. They should have the thought that they have to serve the people, not to rule them. But these should be done during the training. Next is displacement of goals, means the problem because of rule orientation, means now the main focus of the bureaucrats was to follow the rules rather than to achieve the goal. Rules are to act as the mean to achieve an end or a goal. In bureaucracy, because of the too much of importance given to following the rules, due to which the goals are displaced. And this was the view given by Victor Thompson. He criticized the bureaucracy on this basis. This idea is again enforced during training and followed even during working also. Now the welfare is displaced. This is one of the objectives of Mission Karma Yogi, which is now implemented to transform bureaucracy from rule-based to role-based organization. Next and the last one is self-aggrandizing tendency. The bureaucracy do this by budget maximizing approach. To achieve the goal which can be done in less money, now they have maximized the budget. The Parkinson's law is there. Bureaucracy is a white elephant, which is of no use and maintenance is very high. We are not saying that the bureaucracy is not of any use, but the maintenance is very high. And because of that, there was a crisis in India in 1980s that was a balance of payment crisis. This was due to the faulty policies, inefficiency in expenditure. Policies are provided by bureaucrats to the ministers and ministers just followed that. And because of that, the infrastructure and everything got over budget and we faced the crisis. So to deal with it, government is coming with a new project and that is known as the lateral entry into the bureaucracy. Means the managers from private sectors being employed by the government. In the year 2017, the government notified that an individual with private sector experience of minimum 25 years in the company with a turnover of more than 5,000 crore can apply for being employed directly at the secretary level in the government of India. The objective is to changing the value of organization because government organization do not emphasize on the 3 E's which are efficiency, economy and the effectiveness. So through the private sector it can be achieved. It is not foolproof because that was done in the year 1990s with Air India, but the efficiency was not achieved. Or we can say sometimes the efficiency is achieved and we neglect the welfare. By this, I am concluding my video for today. Thank you.